Hey y'all, I'm testing my live stream capabilities. Let me turn on I'm testing my live stream, but I can't be too loud because my hubby is asleep. So go live. Okay. Let's see how it looks. I'm testing my live stream capabilities. So I'm going to see how it looks. Yeah, I'm going to see how it looks because I'm doing a practice live on IG. Let's see if I can hear it. It's like stuck. But if y'all can see me on the other places, then holla at your girl. Let me see if I can hear me well. Okay. That's cool. I don't have my lighting and stuff on. It's daylight. It's hot in Cali. So we're not doing all them lights. Not today. As long as y'all can see me, we good, okay? Oh, that reminds me. I bought some dark chocolate today. I left it in the truck. Oh my goodness. I got to get it out. I left it in the truck. Anyway. Hey, happy hump day. Let me make sure that I'm live on my business page. Again, this is a live stream test. This is a live stream test, okay? Because I'm going to start going live again. So this is a live stream test. And I am just making sure that y'all can hear me and see me good. I don't know. I guess I should pull my camera down some. But I think we're good. This is a live stream test. I think we're good. Anyway, I was about to stand up anyway because I've been sitting for way too long. And so if you're on, type something in the comments so I can see y'all. But hey, for those who don't know, I am Reneka Boyd, Dr. Reneka Boyd, PhD. I don't know if y'all know that I had been working on my PhD forever in a day. And I got everything from the University of Phoenix. So, but hey, hello and welcome, and happy Wednesday. I'm not going to be before y'all long because my hubby is asleep. And like my office where I'm at, he's pretty close. So I don't want to wake him up because he needs him a good little nap. But what y'all up to? It's gonna be a bored lie because I don't know what time it is. It has to be close to 4. When it's close to 4, I am asleep. I want to share a message with y'all. I started sharing this message earlier, and I'll probably clip this video. I was sharing a message earlier, and it was about who you are. I don't like, I'm not saying that Facebook doesn't have any depth to it anymore. And I'm trying to really scrub my Facebook list and my audience. But I will tell you all that a lot of the messaging that I have now is like received more, and there's like way more engagement on my TikTok lives. So I'm trying to come back and, pour into Facebook as much as I can. But it is absolutely energy is reciprocity, right? I was sharing this earlier that there are a lot of trends that are going on that have always gone on. And I have always been ahead of the curve when it comes to trends, whatever. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. But when it comes to trends, when it comes to just, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, coach, a guide, a mentor, a sage, a prophetess, a leader, all of these other things and titles. And I want to say that the more that you find yourself going with the trends, I will tell you that the longer it will take you to get back to who God has really called you to be. And that can even be based on pay. Like, we're all out here, we have to get paid in various ways, and the ways that we have to get paid. But I will tell you that whatever your gift is, when they say your gift will make room for you, I am here to tell you that once I truly embraced that and lived it and had that faith in it and that belief in it, I will tell you all that hopefully he calls back. I have a call coming in that I need to take. But I will tell you all that I have been way more successful, way less stressed, way less anxious, all of those things by pursuing my true God-given dream and getting to a place where money, I'm not concerned about money, right? So it's like, and that's hard for a lot of people. And I've worked with a lot of women over the years, thousands of women. And when I work with these women who are money stressed related to their business, I'm like, you become like a repellent for that money, right? It's like you repel money away from you. That anxiety around money, that stress around money, you repel it away from you. And I want to share that because, hey sis, because there are so many queens out here who are in business and you're in business and you're guiding other queens. And I will tell you that the ones who have the longevity in this business, have the sustainability in this business, those are the women that I see who they don't have worry or angst around money. And when you reach a place where you finally allow yourself to let go of titles, when you reach a place where you finally allow yourself to let go of the structure of, I became a strategist and in sales and all of that because of corporate structure. It's the same way that many of us have gone to school and we've done certain things because of those structures and those institutions. But what would your life look like if you just did what God told you to do? What would your life look like if you just, like, I'm just out here doing what God told me to do now, y'all. I'm just out here free, doing what God told me to do and being who God called me to be. And everywhere that I go and everywhere that I be, money, wealth, it follows me. It's ahead of me. And I want to share that because I know that there are a lot of women going through transition, especially with what's going on with this current government. A lot of transition going on. You don't have to be like me where you take a 1-year sabbatical or a 2-year sabbatical. I do realize that not everybody's life is set up that way, but I will share this with you all, that when you can just free fall into God's arms, when you can just free fall into God's arms and just allow yourself to say, I'm going to go where God is telling me to go. I'm going to be who God is telling me to be. It is both scary and it is rewarding as well. It is fulfilling. It is a beautiful feeling, but it is scary, right? When you're outside of structure, outside of a school structure, outside of a college structure, outside of a corporate structure, when you're outside of those structures, rarely do you see people who are able to truly function outside of those structures without still holding on to some part of that structure. But in terms of your actual life's purpose, I don't believe, and this is my experience, like in from a spiritual perspective, I don't believe that you can truly be 100% who God has called you. You could be working towards who God called you to be. I'm telling y'all my story. You can be working towards who God calls you to be. You can have 1 foot in the door of who God called you to be. You can have 1.5 feet in the door of who God called you to be. But until you don't have to, money is not an issue, until titles are not an issue, and you're saying, I am just out here to do what it is that God wants me to do, and I'm not asking no questions. Maybe I need a little bit of clarity around like how that should look, but I'm going to trust me, and I'm going to trust the God in me to be who God has called me to be. And I don't know if y'all can hear my husband snoring. Um, but I want to share that with you all. And I have to hop off to take a call soon because they're probably going to call me back. It's one of my sons. Hey, Kathy. Hey, soul sister. But I want to share that with you all because when I was on my sabbatical, I'm not going to get emotional. But it was scary for me because everything in me wanted to go back to what I was doing. Everything in me wanted to just say, you know what, this job wants to pay me, 7 figures a year to do this. This corporation wants to pay me, X multi 6 figures to sit on their board. This organization wants me to do this or do that, right? Especially when you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of credentials, right? But I still felt unfulfilled and I felt out of alignment. And it wasn't because of the clients. They're just being who they are and walking in their story. It was because of me not being in 100% complete alignment with God. And until you do it, and until you say, hey, I cannot tell y'all the things that me being on sabbatical that I've lost and that I've gained. Me free falling into God's arms, the tears, the journal notes. I have journal notes that I go back and look at a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm like, I don't even know who that was. I don't know who would write such a thing about herself. Who would say such things about herself? How could I have been going through this dark tunnel and felt so alone, so isolated, so lost in my decisions that I was like, well, maybe I'll just choose the next logical thing. But I'm here to tell you that when you are walking in God's purpose, it is not logical. It is spiritual. It is spiritual. And I don't know who this message is for. Maybe you're going through some transitions in life and you're feeling it. Like I was feeling it in my body. I was feeling it. There was just this ache in me. And I can tell you that a lot of our external symptoms and the things that we feel and that we're going through, they are because our spirit's not right. They're because some part of us is still out of alignment with how God truly wants for us to be in this world. When we hear your gift will make room for you, whoa, it's like out of all the degrees and certifications that I have and the experiences that I have, I never realized it until I lived it and until I walked it. And that's why one of my greatest joys is helping other women to walk through that door where you're saying, I'm not worried about, content. I'm not worried about currency. I'm not worried about those things. Everything that is a part of God's covenant, everything that is part of God's calling on my life, it will come from me. And yes, there are other systems and other people and other things that can help me, but everything and every aspect of my being that God has called me to be will come from me. Right? I am the one who's guiding the mentor, the coach, the whomever to help me to get it out of me, but it's in me. It's in you. There's no lack in you. There's no lack in you, right? Hey, sis, there's no lack in you. And until you truly allow yourself to walk home to yourself, what do I mean by walking home to myself? I mean that, and I'm going to say this especially for my women who are married too. Sometimes we choose careers and we choose a certain walk or way in life because we're part of the team, right? We're part of the financial team. And so it's like, I got to do this. I got to be, you know what I mean? This is what I have to do. But I will tell you that because you are called to be a queen, a goddess, because God calls you wisdom, you are the one who should be leading those decisions. I didn't say you should be leading your household. I didn't say that you should usurp the marital authority. But what I mean by that is that women, especially Black women, will work themselves into a grave, into an early grave, while watching their spouse or their mate float on by. Just women, specifically Black women, will work themselves into an early grave, giving our kids everything that we never got. The guilt that we have in the way that we were raised and the things that we had or didn't have really shape how we show up in this life. But you got to get to a point in your life where you are unapologetically who God has called you to be. And I will tell you this, it is such a deeply spiritual place that I have yet to meet a person. I've yet to meet a person. I've seen some men, right? I've seen some men who are, king, guru, this person, who have gone to those places. But I've yet to see a Black woman truly share her stories of how she's gone to that spiritual place, of how she went into the darkness and she was walking across the bridge and walking, the story of just, walking on water and just trusting that process. Not being able to see anything, complete darkness, complete blackness. I don't know if you've ever been in the middle of the ocean, if you've taken a cruise or anything like that. And at night, it's like you're in complete darkness, complete blackness. There's nothing around you. All you have is your faith. All I have is my faith that this ship is going to make it to its destination. And that's the type of faith that God is calling you to have in this season. To walk completely by faith. Not you're trying to shape what it's going to look like, but just opening your mouth and letting it come from you. I'm telling you, there's something powerful that comes from within you. And I literally have chills just saying that. Like, there's something powerful deep down inside of you that if you would just take the restrictions off of it, if you would just take the structure off of it, if you would just take the self-judgment off of it, if you would just take the overthinking off of it, if you would just allow yourself to just be, something so powerfully amazing can come from you in the same way that it's coming from me. And I'm so on fire and committed to being who God has called me to be. And finally reaching a place where I'm not worried about the titles, what you call me. I'm not worried about showing. I'm not worried about proving any of that. Baby, between the student loans, between all the other stuff, I'm not worried about proving none of it. Because I had to finally prove it to myself. Y'all don't hear me though. I had to finally prove it to myself. And I will tell you, I know a lot of women, but I didn't have women around me that I never met a woman who was more confident than me. Any friend that I had, any client that I had, I was that person for them. I didn't have those type of women around me. And I'm not saying that in a way to knock them. I'm just trying to paint a picture of how God built me. So for me to go through a season where I lost my confidence in myself and losing my confidence in myself because I decided to throw away the titles, throw away the degrees, throw away the years of proving and experiences and the receipts and all those other things, and just show up every day and allow people to see who it is that God created me to be. And if you get something from that, that means that if that door is open for you and you walk through that door and you feel it in your heart and in your soul that God has called me to help you to walk through the door back to yourself and who God has truly authentically called you to be without your titles, without your fear, without your anxieties, without your reservations, without your shame, your judgment of where you are in life and that you should be further, faster by now, then so be it. But if not, I still got to show up as the queen that God has called me to be. And I want to share that with you because that can feel like a lonely, isolating place when you're not following anybody else's blueprint. Come on, y'all. Come on. Hey, Erica. I don't even want to mispronounce your name because you told me how to pronounce it right and I got it, but it's been like almost 2 years. And so I'm not going to mispronounce it because it's such a beautiful name. I don't want to mispronounce it. But maybe you have a woman in your life who is going through transition. You have a sister, you have a mother, you have a friend, you have a daughter who's going through transition and feeling like, you know, I just don't know what my next step should be. When you choose that next step, when she chooses that next step, if it is with anybody else in mind but her and God, it is the wrong step. It is the wrong step. Because when we say we're doing something because we want to help people do something, that's ego. That's just ego. I'm doing this because this is the noble thing and I want to help all of these people. I want to help all these women. It's like, I want to do what the hell God told me to do. And yes, it is beautiful that what God told me to do and who God has called me to be. And because my granny was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, and because my grannies and my aunts work with their hands and they work with fields and they were medicine women and all these other things, right? And it's like, that's all great. But who did God call me to be? Who did God call me to be? And until that woman that you have in your life that you love truly walks that path and is willing to say, I'm going to walk it solo. And then whatever comes out, right? Like whatever comes on the other side of that comes on the other side of that. But until she realizes the queen that she is called to be, until she rises in herself because she is doing the work every day, the work. And sometimes the work is ugly tears. Sometimes the work means you don't even have the strength or the confidence to get out of bed. Sometimes the work means the most confident person is the person most curled up in the corner, getting beat up and mollywopped by her overthinking her, you know what I mean? But it's spiritual. By, you know what I mean? Like she's going through spiritual warfare herself. But until she's willing to walk through that fire and accept the heat of it, that woman that you love will continue to choose other things that will only distract her. It will only distract her. And you hear the stories of women and men on their deathbed saying, I wish I had did it this way. I wish I had the courage to just do this, but I had to have a job to make money. I had to choose this career path because that was going to pay the most. I could never fully do this. I could never fully do that because I've learned this. I'll share this one more story with you all. This is what I've learned. I'm going to turn the air up on my phone because my husband has me hooked up with this Dyson. So y'all might hear the fan now. So I'm going to turn it up. Okay. I'll show y'all a picture of it too, because if you get warm sometimes, and it's already warm in Cali, and like you're gonna need this. And so I want to share this last story with you all. I will never forget sitting in sorry, I saw someone coming in and out of my doors, so I had to check. Okay. I remember sitting in a meeting, and I was trying to decide if I was going to Hey, sis. Hey, Erica. Hey, I thought I saw Jamie here, but I was trying to decide if I was going to. I desperately wanted to leave Arizona, right? Mind you, I'm the single mother who left Kansas City, Missouri, and relocated to Arizona, finished my degrees, earned multi six figures, all of that, really made a name for myself in Arizona. But Arizona was not my like destination. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a pass through place for me. But by the time I was ready to leave again, my kids, they're in school, they have friends, all of that. And I will never forget saying, oh, man, I don't think I could do this because, they have friends, they're really establishing themselves. And I'm sitting in a meeting with all of these other corporate women who are making 6 and 7 figures. I'm the only Black woman in the meeting. But I'm sitting in this meeting with all these other women, some married, some not married, and they're giving all their reasons why they can't truly live the life that they desire to live because of my kids, because of my spouse, because of. And this life coach said, you can do anything you want to do. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for your family. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for your spouse. Yeah, it's going to be, but you can do anything you want to do. And so there were a lot of women sitting there like, oh, that's so heartless. But that is truly how following God looks. That is how following God looks. Following God looks like doing any and everything that God has called you to do, because that is the desire that those are the desires that God has placed on the inside of you. Those are the desires. So I'm not pulling for my desire. I'm not chasing my desire. Oh God, that desire just sits on the inside of me. I'm not saying I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that because this doesn't make money, but that makes money. That desire births, B-I-R-T-H-S, births everything, right? Like I am the midwife. I am the mother, right? I am the daughter. I am the matriarch. I am the goddess. I am the sage, right? I am wisdom. I have the ability to birth life. Life is created in me in more ways than one. And so when I go outside of me to choose what it is or how it is that I should be living my life, that is outside of who God has called you to be. And so that's why you see yourself going in circles and 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 circles. Because you're continuing to look outside of yourself when the answer is on the inside. And I hear this one particular scripture a lot. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And I want to provide other perspective to that. I don't want to say that that's not wrong, right? Because we have to work at our relationship with God. But sometimes the works that we do with our faith, it's just that. It is working on our relationship with God. It is, I'm praying, I'm meditating, I'm resting, right? I'm not just out here busy choosing the next thing because I'm operating out of fear. Sometimes the works is working on ourselves. Sometimes I can't stop choosing the other things, or I'm starting a thing and I'm stopping a thing because I'm working outside of myself and outside of my relationship with God. And that's why I'm over here and I'm over there and I'm over here and I'm over there, because I keep looking for the answers outside of me. Y'all don't hear me though. So listen, Erica said, that is so true. I actually understand and have been feeling that. I'm in a season of total isolation, and crazy enough, I'm loving it, and God is using me more. Yes. We don't miss this window, y'all. Don't miss this window. Whoever is listening to this message at the sound of my voice, don't miss this window of time. We are in a highly spiritual, grounded window of time where The answers are not hard to find. We don't have to look for them. We don't have to look for them. If we just sit still and allow ourselves to feel, that means whatever it is that we're going through in life. And sometimes that means we're isolated crying. Sometimes that just means like we're literally like resting. Means that I'm choosing not to engage in conflict with somebody. Resting means that like, yeah, I saw this person post that on social media and I don't agree, but that don't have nothing to do with me. Resting means, man, I don't have the answer today, but you know what? I'm the only one who can have the answer. The answer is in me. And I just have to rest and trust that God is going to give it to me. That's resting. Is I'm in isolation and things feel dark and they look dark and it doesn't look like anything. I will say this, the things that I had been doing no longer fulfilled me. And if you're not truly in relationship with God, you won't understand this. But what I mean is that being the sacrificial lamb is not fulfilling. It's not fulfilling to say that like I'm called to do all of these things for all these other people, but it doesn't fulfill me. I was no longer fulfilled helping people generate 6 and 7 figures and generate 8 figures over time. I wasn't like that. I was no longer fulfilled helping people run their businesses and me being the cage for their healing, but also them generating money and also them managing their employees and now also them doing all of these other things. When my foundational existence is healing, right? My granny was a root workers, Cherokee, Native, Aboriginal, aunts, uncles. They worked the land. They were medicine women and medicine men, midwives, mothers. So my foundational existence, at some point, you have to trust yourself again. That's where I'll leave this message. At some point, you have to trust yourself again. This is not about a job. This is not about a career. You got to do what you got to do, sis, brother. But at some point, you have to trust yourself fully again. In the same way you trusted yourself when you was a little girl or a little boy and they took them training wheels off and you stopped falling and you knew you could ride that bike. Hello, somebody. Anybody remember that feeling? I remember that feeling. If you remember that feeling, drop a 1 in the comments. I remember that feeling when I finally knew that I could ride that bike. Baby, blowing in the wind. That is the place that you have to get back to, and trusting yourself and trusting the season that God has you in. I was in a season where I wasn't hearing from God. Not the God outside of me, not looking to all of these external answers for confirmation when Holy Spirit, God resides within me. And you're going to have to trust the seasons of isolation and trust the seasons of rest. Because I'm just here to tell you, as somebody who's on the other side of that, who said, I'm willing, God, to go through the ugly cry. God, I'm willing to go through the unknowing. God, I'm willing to be by myself. I'm willing to be the person who looks like the villain. I'm willing to be the person who has all of these different friends dropping off and family members dropping off and me just doing nothing but being quiet and peaceful and people not wanting to fool with me no more. Like, I'm willing to be her. I'm willing to be her because I can't keep running into fires and saving people when God has called me to save myself and to return to myself and know and trust that everybody's going to be okay. They'll figure it out. Those people that you used to run in fiery burning buildings and save all the time, that were calling you all the time, that you spend hours and hours and hours and hours upon hours on the phone with, so much so that when you get done, you're exhausted and you don't got nothing left for you. Those people going to be all right. And if they cut you off because you had to finally see about you, that just means that's the way that it was supposed to be. That just gets you one step closer to who God has called you to be. And so listen, I love y'all so much. I pray that this has blessed someone. This was just a test live stream because I'm back on StreamYard. I love y'all so much. And I gotta go. I gotta take this call. Okay. I love y'all. And we'll talk soon.